it seems less continuous. So anyway, we're on a different network now, continuing with the practice. We still have a half hour to go, and hopefully there's no more Wi-Fi burps. So yeah, so anyway, Markel and you also just find our down dog. We got a down cat in the situation, which is totally cool. Mark the cat is the coolest cat. From here, flow style, big toes touch, heels slightly apart, right leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. High on the left toes. Now looking between the hands, bringing that right foot on through, landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down. Hands find the hips as we find our warrior one shape. I'll go sideways here just so you have a little different perspective. Markel, you stay just as you are. Shifting weight onto the front foot, let's go a little longer in the stance to find more stretch in our legs. The hips aren't going to square perfectly front. Front hip moves back, back hip moves front, but you want to feel that energetic action. From here we can bring hands onto our shoulders, relaxing our shoulders. From here, finding a clasp of the fingers behind the back, pressing the head into the hands, open heart, open throat, and then stretching our hands high to the sky. And with the breath, this way. First, breathing in, and now we find this one. Yeah, there we go. Let's do 6 of these. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Halfway done. Inhale, and exhale. Last 2. Inhale, exhale. Last 1. Inhale, exhale, finding the shape. And I'll invite you to hold for a couple of breaths. The elbows move back, the hands come with. And I'll invite you to wiggle those fingers, keeping your hands supple. Nice. Let's turn Warrior 1 into Warrior 2 as hands find the heart. We open up our hips to face the sidewall. We can kick the back foot in just a tad as we find one long arm. Looking out over those front fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze. In our Warrior 2 shape, we'll invite you to paint rainbows. Palm faces back, we straighten the front leg, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Halfway down. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Last one here, breathing in, breathing out, Warrior 2. And now I'll invite you to find a rainbow warrior. A clasp of the fingers behind the back, shoulder blades back and down, open heart, open throat. And then finding a forward fold inside that front leg, leading with the heart. As you draw the shoulders up and back towards the hips, relax the neck and heavy the head. You might add a little swing, a little sway, just releasing tension to the neck and shoulders, and then letting that tension drain down through the crown of the head, into the earth, where it's gone, at least for now. That's it. In our rainbow warrior, I'll suggest a strong tuck in the chin as we bring it on and up, coming back to our Warrior 2 shape. From here, finding triangle pose. Thumb and forefinger find crease of hip and base of rib. Deepening that crease as we lengthen those ribs. Keeping a little spring in the knee as we ground bottom hand down in an appropriate place. We can use that top hand to set that top shoulder, backing down onto the spine. And then we can stretch that hand high to the sky, either looking down to the ground off to the side, or up past those top fingers with that mixture of effort and ease. Wherever you choose to work, breathing, watching that breath, and enjoying that reflection upon your breath. In our triangle pose, I'll invite you to explore our lateral top line. I'll get to a place where you can see me, Markel. Let's see. We're here, and we can still see you here. So we're going to exhale that top hand front. Let me go this way. We're going to exhale that top hand front as we turn our heart to the floor. So it looks like this. On the inhale, we lift hand high as we spin heart to sky. We'll do 6 of these. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Halfway done. Exhale. And inhale. Last 2. Exhale. And inhale. Last 1. Exhale. And inhale. Now let's bring both hands to the back of our head. There's going to be pure side motion, so there's no twist to the torso as we breathe ourselves up and then back over. So it's like push-ups for our side waist. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Halfway done. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last 1. Inhale. Exhale and hold for a breath. And then I'll invite you to move towards that half moon as hand finds the hip. We step the back foot in. I don't want to obscure you here. I'll give you some room here. We're going to bring right hand off to the right. We're going to lift that back leg up. We're going to set that top shoulder. We're going to stretch hand high to the sky, either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up to the sky with that steady yet relaxed gaze. Nice. Awesome. Really, really nice. As we hold the shape with every breath in, gathering energy in your center, balance 3 fingers below the navel. With every breath out, making yourselves bigger in space as you send that energy out through the limbs and both ends of the spine. In our half moon shape, I'll invite you to bring hand back to the hip, softening that front leg, landing that back foot lightly as we come back to our warrior 2. From here, a big windmill of the arms as we find low lunge, and from low lunge, back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Next, take your time. You can really lift those hips up if you choose. So this is the cobra pose. So we're down, hips stay down. If you want to find the true up dog, you lift everything up. And it's a pretty intense stretch.
Oh, cool.
It feels pretty good, I find. And you just lift everything up. Nice. And then stretching it back to down dog. And holding for a couple of breaths. Second side, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky for the 3-legged dog. High on the right toes. Now looking between the hands, we can bring that left foot on through. Landing it lightly, spinning the back leg down as we bring hands to hips for Warrior 1 prep. In Warrior 1 prep, I'll invite you to lengthen the stance as we scoot that back foot back. So again, hips aren't going to square perfectly front, but we want to feel that energetic action. From here, we can use our hands on our shoulders to square our shoulders. We can switch the clasp of the fingers, pressing the head into clasped fingers, open heart, open throat, 4th and 5th chakra. And now we're going to stretch those hands high to the sky. And 6 times, breathing in and breathing out. And you want to track that knee right in line with the toes. Exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling. Halfway done. Inhale, exhale, last 2. Inhale, exhale, last 1. Inhale, exhale, and hold. A couple of breaths. We'll bring the elbows back, hands come with, wiggle those fingers, nice. And then turning 1 into 2 as hands find the heart. We open up the hips. You might narrow the stance for heel to arch alignment. And then one long arm looking out over those front fingers with a steady yet relaxed gaze. From here, let's paint 6 rainbows. Palm faces back, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Last 3, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Last 1, breathing in, breathing out, Warrior 2. And then finding a rainbow warrior, a clasp of the fingers behind the back, shoulder blades back and down onto rib shelf. And then leading with the heart as we take that forward fold inside the front leg. As we draw the shoulders up and back towards the hips, relax the neck and head to the head. Again, I'll invite you to add a little swing, a little sway, whatever feels right and good for you. Just releasing any tension in the neck and shoulders, just letting that tension drain down through the crown of the head into the earth. Starting to connect with our feeling body. In our rainbow warrior, I'll suggest a tuck of the chin to stretch out the back of the neck, keeping the chin tucked as we bring it on up, and we'll come back to our warrior 2 shape. From here, transitioning to Trikonasana, the triangle, thumb and forefinger find crease of hip and base or rib, deepening that crease, lengthening those ribs, then a little teacup transition. We can ground bottom hand down in an appropriate place. That top hand can set that shoulder. We can stretch hand high, either looking down, off to the side, or up to the sky. And even here, as we hold the triangle, gathering energy in the Dantian, 3 fingers below the navel. Every time you breathe out, sending that energy out through the legs, the arms, the spine, as you connect with the innate pulsation of the universe. Yeah, I think I can do it from here, and you can see me. And we'll explore that lateral top line as we exhale that hand front, turning heart to the floor. Inhaling, lifting hand high as we spin heart to sky. Exhaling. And inhaling. Exhaling. And inhaling. 3 more to go. Exhaling. And inhaling. Last 2. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Now let's bring hands to the back of our head. Pure side motion here as we breathe it up for 1. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. 1 more to go. And 6. And then moving towards our half moon as we bring hand to hip. Left hand outside left foot as we step the back foot in. Setting our base, I'll suggest left hand well off to the left for a nice wide foundation. Lifting that back leg. Setting the shoulder. Stretching hand high. Either looking down off to the side or up to the sky. Nice, beautiful. And again, gathering energy in the Dantian, 3 fingers below the navel. And as you breathe out, getting bigger in space. Stretching yourself towards either the boundaries of the universe or the very center. Who's to say where that is? It could be right here, right there. Here. That's right. That's it. Or the Dantian. In this style, we teach from here, but there are some styles that teach from our heart.
I think I'm just upside down, just right here.
There you go.
Very cool.
We have a couple centers. We're like ellipses. Hand finds the hip. We bend the front leg, back foot low, finding our warrior 2. And then a big windmill of the arms as you make your way back to down dog, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Yeah, if you want to find that up dog, go for it. Lift everything up. There it is. I love it. It's a nice stretch in that Dantian place.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not getting any comments, but this is a pop-up class.
Mm-hmm.
From our down dog shape, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, looking between your hands as you step or take a jump. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. Now stay low. We're going to come back to our chair pose. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, a little back bend at the top. That's it. On the exhale, standing tall. I'll allow you to bring hands to heart. A light press of the thumbs against the sternum. Long through all sides of the neck, a slight tuck of the chin. Just watching our breath as it flows in and out. It's nice with your thumbs on your sternum. You can feel that beating at your heart. And then hands by our side. So let's do one more quick standing pose and we'll get down onto the floor. Let's sneak in that promised airplane. My sister Nan was asking for the airplane on the roof yesterday morning, and gets a little vertiginous up there. So from here, hands on our hips. Let's step just a little step back on our left foot. And we start to balance on that right foot. From here, we can start to lift that back foot up. You can always come back to the ground. If you want to challenge your balance, we can start to pitch our body forward, either keeping the knees bent or working more towards extension. Let me go sideways on that one. Maybe eventually you kind of get towards this parallel place, back leg long, and we can play with arm variations. We can stretch hands towards the back foot. We can find our airplane arms, eagle arms, arms out to the side. Maybe we stretch those hands in front, like holding a large glass ball. Front hands come back to the hips. Let's soften the standing leg, and let's sweep this foot on through. As we lift our left thigh high, the toe points down. Either staying here or we'll lean a little bit forward as we go along through the leg. Lifting that leg a little higher. And then let's sweep it on back as we come back to Warrior One prep, hands on the hips, lining up the heels. Squaring the hips, squaring the shoulders. Opening up fourth and fifth chakra here, yeah. And now finding a tray in front. Breathing in as we gather energy into our center of balance. On the exhale, offering it out. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Halfway done. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. exhale, last one. Inhale and exhale, and just holding this shape as we take a big breath into our heart. From here, let's bring hands to hips. Let's spin the back heel up, shifting weight onto the front foot as we step back foot front. From here, hands find the heart, just finding our breath. And we'll play with that airplane. On our second side, as we bring hands to hips, we're going to step that right foot back. And we'll start to get prepared to balance here. So we lift that back leg any amount. Once you feel like you can stand on one foot, we'll start to turn it more into the classic airplane or warrior three shape as we start to pitch our body forward, either keeping those knees bent or moving towards extension. When you find a place where you can work, we can play with the arm variations as we stretch hands back. We can stretch those arms out to the side. We can stretch those hands in front. Boom.
I'm trying. I don't want to lose it. Okay.
Woo.
And I'm like, no.
We can actually support each other or not support each other in this one. There you go. Woo. Wherever the hands went, hands come back to the hips. And let's bend that standing leg. We're going to sweep this foot through. If you need to touch down, no big deal. You'll lift that thigh high. We're going to lean a little bit forward and go along with that leg. Lifting that leg a little higher. I'm going to sweep it on through as we come back to Warrior Two Prep. From here, we'll spin the back heel up. We'll shift the weight onto the front foot to step back foot front. And one more time. Hands to the heart as we find our breath. So I love the squats. So let's get down to the floor with the squat sequence. So hands find the hips. I'll either suggest walking the feet out or maybe you take a jump out to the side. From here, hands find the hips as we angle the feet out and go backwards a little bit so people can see my feet. I'm going to rock it into half squat as we take it on down. We can bring knees over heels, and I'll suggest bringing elbows to the inner thighs, trying to keep neutral spine here as we find prayer hands. As we hold this half squat, this half goddess squat, just rocking it from side to side, getting into those hips. Now, depending where your knees are, you'll stay either here, or we can drop it all the way down as we get into those hips. Make sure your knees want to do this. From here, let's bring hands behind, and let's come gently onto our back sides. And let's come back to that place where we were very start of class. So you got external rotation, a loose diamond shape. The heels are apart. And this pose is called Tarasana, named after a green-skinned Buddhist goddess of compassion. From here, let's move towards Kurmasana, the tortoise, as we fit our arms underneath our legs. Now we're going to hinge at the hips, initially finding neutral spine, trying to hinge as much as you can. And depending on how your back feels this afternoon, you'll either hold neutral spine or go a little bit further as we round the back. There's a mantra that goes with this. It's been my go-to mantra in these odd times. I go deep within to find all that I need. I go deep within to find all that I need. I go deep within to find all that I need. And then holding for another couple breaths, just letting those groins be super, super soft every time you breathe out. Just feeling a little more stretch in that low back. From here, let's tuck the chin and unfeed our arms out from under our legs. One of my teachers says, in any practice, you want to do a pose that you absolutely hate and a pose you absolutely love.
Right.
I absolutely love this next pose.
Right.
Hopefully you share my enthusiasm.
Let's do it.
So we can catch our ankles as we start to balance on the tailbones, lifting the feet. Yeah, and you'll either stay here or maybe peace sign fingers catch the big toes. And either staying here or we go long through those legs for a big V in the air. As we hold the shape, I'll invite you to make that V a little bit wider. From here, let's find a butterfly in the air as we connect the soles of the feet. landing the butterfly softly so it's a little tighter diamond here, the soles of the feet connect. Either hands on the ankles, keeping the soles pressed together, or our thumbs can come to the insoles. We can open those feet up like a book. Taking it into a forward fold here, hinging at the hips. Either staying in neutral spine or going a little bit further as we round the back. And we can come back to that same mantra. I go deep within to find all that I need. I go deep within to find all that I need. I go deep within to find all that I need. And again, just let your groin soften as you exhale. And then a tuck of the chin as we come back up to reclaim tall spine. Let's bring our hands behind here. And let's fly the butterfly as we connect the knees and out to the side. 6 times. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. And here's 6. Let's play with the boat pose, or it's an ab pose. So let's come a little bit forward. We catch the back of the thighs. We're balancing on the tailbone here as we lift the feet. This could be your boat, or you'll move towards parallel shins. This could be your boat, and we let go. This could be your boat. We go long for those legs. 3 or 4 long, slow breaths. From here, let's cross the ankles in the air. Let's draw those heels in. If it's cool on your knees, we can roll over the knees. Easy way to do that is just to ground down through the hands to take some weight off. And then pushing back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or just stretching straight back. I'll give you one more breath to find your vinyasa if you're working vinyasa at home. And then I'll suggest everyone finds a child's pose as we ground those knees on down. Sits bones back to the heels, arms in extension as we heavy the forehead down towards the floor. As we hold our child's pose, keeping hips and heels just as they are, I'll allow you to walk your hands to one side as you stretch far hip to far heel. Now walking your hands through center, finding that second side as you stretch other hip to other heel. Just enjoy that nice stretch inside waist. And then let's walk hands center. Let's walk hands in. And let's bring our feet off to that odd side. And let's do a long, slow roll down under our back. So make sure you get some room behind you.
Mm-hmm.
So we're skipping ahead. So we have tall spine here. Now we're going to find C-spine, tucking tail, tucking chin, slowly rolling ourselves down. When we get down, let's find a full body stretch. Arms by the ears, not too low. We want to keep our ribs soft and drawing in. Breathing in as we point fingers and toes. Exhaling as we flex hands and feet. Breathing in as we point. Exhale as we flex. Breathing in as we point. Exhale as we flex. And let's do one more shape before we lay down and relax. As we draw our knees into our armpits, soles of the feet face the sky, we reach up and catch either our ankles or the outside edges of the feet for the happy baby pose. As we hold the happy baby, I'll invite you to gently rock your body side to side, massaging your kidneys, stretching out that low back. And then from the happy baby, coming back to center, coming back to a focus on your breath, watching as it flows in and out. Keeping this focus on the breath initially as we go long through our legs, long through our arms. Give your armpits lots of room to breathe. Give your inner thighs lots of room to breathe. Scooting the head back as you flatten the shoulders. Do whatever else feels right and good for you as you find your Shavasana. As we hold Shavasana, front plane of the body falls into the back plane. Both planes of body fall into the floor. Tip of the tongue is now neutral in the mouth, a slight part to the lips as you breathe in and out through your nose. as we hold our Shavasana. I'll invite you to bring your mind to your 4 gates, the 2 shoulders, the 2 hips, and just try to let those 4 points of the body be super, super heavy. And then letting that heaviness move out through the limbs and back in towards the heart. At home, feeling free to hold your Shavasana as long as you'd like. Here in this room, I'm going to ring the yoga bells 3 times. Whether you're holding Shavasana or using this as an opportunity to move on to your next activity, I'll invite you to listen to the sound of the bells. It starts, there's duration, and then it fades out. Wherever you are, always feeling free to stay here for the purposes of this online yoga class, inviting more prana into your body as you wiggle your fingers and toes. Now circling wrists and ankles as we invite that prana in towards center. I'll invite you to add a little shake of the shoulders, a little shimmy of the hips, whatever feels right and good for you as you lay on the floor. Just connecting with your own innate wisdom, the inner guru, the inner teacher that's within us all. From here, drawing one knee at a time in towards your heart as your hands catch your shins. And then using your thighs to massage your center of balance as you gently lift and lower the low back and hips. We're massaging that dantian, that center of balance. And then hugging the knees in close as we rock it from side to side, massaging our kidneys, connecting with our water element. Also massaging, releasing and relaxing our low back. And then keeping those knees close in, stretching long through an arm, rolling onto one side, letting that arm serve as a cushion for your head. As we share a long, slow breath here on the floor, I'll invite you to let that breath sigh out through your mouth, softening your shoulders, relaxing your jaw, softening the corners of your eyes. And the neck relaxed, face soft as you press into your hands to come up. And let's come back to that shape we started. Mm-hmm. Big wide here. Hands on our knees. Pulling back with our hands to sit up a little straighter, a little taller. Long through all sides of the neck with a slight tuck of the chin. Coming back to that place where we started class. Just watching as our breath flows in. And as our breath flows out. From this place, a breath awareness. I'll invite you to bring your hands to your heart, a light press of the thumb against your sternum, just connecting with the beat of your heart. And attaching that beat of the heart to the flow of your breath, fully present in our body, fully present in our mind, fully present in our spirit. And then from this place, I'll invite you to bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga. And as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you all for practicing with us tonight. Fun pop-up class. Get to try out some new technology. Some of it worked, some of it didn't. But we're always trying to refine and make these classes better. It's because nowadays is a time where a lot of us are practicing at home. And I want to offer something to all of you. Any comments? Please feel free to comment, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks, Mr.
Markel.
Mark.
Thank you, Mark the cat.